am going to do a little bit more of a strengthening yoga class, so there will be some challenges. I will give the option of adding those extra push-ups. We'll do some lunge type exercises, different things like that to kind of mix up our practice today. Starting on our mat, we will get into a child's pose. So with the feet together, knees wide, arms overhead. And we're going to start by really walking those hands and those fingertips out as far as you can. Keeping the hips back down on your heels. Take a couple extra big breaths in, and as you exhale, lower that forehead all the way down to the mat. While we're here, we're keeping the elbows lifted, so the elbows stay lifted away from the floor. Let's just take a couple deep settling breaths in. The forehead down on the mat. The attention turning inward. Maybe setting your intention for the class today. All right, I can invite you, of course, to set any intention that feels right for you. Or maybe setting a strength-building intention, making yourself stronger, not just physically, but making yourself stronger and tougher mentally as well. Right, having the discipline to put yourself through these difficult situations, as well as get through these difficult situations, making you stronger at the end. Good. On your inhale, roll all the way up through your tabletop. Let's circle out through the body a few times, just getting that nice fluid movement in the spine. All right, so hips and shoulders come forward, over to one side, back towards the heels and up the other side. All right, noticing any cracks or creaks that might be happening in the body. All right, go in the opposite direction as well. Just kind of warming things up. Maybe you have a few kind of pains or tightness, anything from the first half of the day. Noticing where they are. Noticing what you can do through your practice to help yourself out. All right, releasing, relaxing these areas. And bring it back towards that child's pose. And then we're going to shift forward through a plank position with the knees down so the body stays straight. And then I want you to think about the core activating here. So don't just let these hips kind of sag here, but try to pull the belly button back and up towards the spine, lower rib cage in. Right, press the floor away with the shoulders, but keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, we'll bring it back to our child's pose. Two more. Inhale, shift forward, modified high plank. Exhale, bring it back down dog. Once again, modified high plank. Good. Exhale, bring it back and down. Let's bring it up through your tabletop again. Cat-cows as you inhale to drop the belly, lift the chest. Looking up, shoulders pull away from the ears. Exhale, tuck the chin around the spine. Press the floor away. Inhale, looking up. Good. Exhale, tuck the chin. Inhale, look up, shoulders pull back. Pause for a moment. Take an extra breath here. Pull the shoulders further away. Keep the pits of the elbows rolled forward. Good, and then exhale to release, cat pose. Nice, inhale, bringing it back through center. We're going to come with our right leg extended straight back behind you here. Toes point down. Keep that lower core engaged though, so the lower back is flat. The left arm reaches forward. Good, thumb points up. I want that arm parallel to the ground, the back leg parallel to the ground. Toes point straight down, thumb points up. Keep the core engaged and tight. Exhale, crunch in, elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Two more. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale to extend. As we exhale, bring that left arm out to the left, right leg out to the right. Hold. Keep that foot as high away from the ground as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Lower that foot down on the mat, off to the side. We're going to rock through our inner thigh here. So allowing the hips to shift front to back, noticing that stretch in the inner thigh, rocking side to side. Good. Pausing anywhere that feels good. Hold here for 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, bring it back up through center. That right foot comes to the front for our half split. So the hands are down each side of the leg. All right, pausing here. Toes stay flexed towards the body. Heel digging down into the ground. And try to actively engage the quad. So from your kneecap to your hip, that muscle on the front of the leg pulling the kneecap up towards your hip here. The chest draws forward and down. So then bend into that knee, foot comes flat on the ground. We'll bring it up into your low lunge. All right, hips square to the front, left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back. Sink them forward and down, but as you keep the core engaged. So notice if you just let those hips tilt forward, you're not getting as much of a stretch. Keep the hips locked in position, tailbone points down to the ground as you shift forward. Stretching the hip flexors, the arms reach tall, biceps frame the ears. Let's grab onto that left wrist, reach it up and over to the right. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. Cactus arms, back bend. Let those hips drop now. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. Hands come to the mat. Let's just step it back to our tabletop. Maybe a couple circles with that right leg if it feels good. Again, warming up through the hip. And then we'll extend that left leg back. Toes point straight down to the ground. Right arm reaches forward, thumb points up. Toes point down, arm, leg, torso parallel to the ground. Keeping the belly pulling up and in so you feel like you have something wrapped around the stomach, right? Everything is nice and tight here. Reaching as you exhale, crunch in, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to reach. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale, airplane. Bring that left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right. Lift that left leg as high as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down to the ground, off to the left here. Shift the hips to the right, rock them front to back. Noticing and feeling the stretch in the inner thigh. Good, and then pause wherever feels good, wherever you get the most stretch here. We're going to pause and hold. Just 2 breaths. Take it to your half. Split from here, left leg all the way to the front of the mat. Hands down on either side. Again, toes are going to flex towards the body, so you feel this tibia muscle, the front of your shin engage. And I want you to really squeeze your quad muscles. So think about trying to pull your kneecap up towards your hip a little more. So that quad stays engaged. We'll inhale to reach forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw the chest down. Good. On your next inhale, bend into that knee. Bring up into your low lunge. Hands to your hips, square them off. Left and right hip point straight forward. And then tuck your tailbone under slightly. So we'll get this arch out of the lower back. Tailbone tucks under. The hips are in this neutral position. If there were a bowl of water, no water would be pouring out of the front. Keep them nice and level with the ground. From there, move the hips forward, keeping the hips locked in that position. Stretching the hip flexor. Once you get to a point where you feel a good stretch, we're going to keep the spine nice and long. Reach the arms up high. Right? Get a little more stretch, lengthening out through the whole torso. And then grab onto the right wrist, reach it up and over to the left. Inhale, bring it back through center. As you cactus the arms, let the hips unlock. Sink them further down towards the mat. Open up, back bend. Good, and then inhale, bring it back up and through center. Hands will come down to the mat. Bring that left foot back into your tabletop. Maybe make a couple circles with that left leg. Good. Nice. From here, get the hands under the shoulders. Walk the knees a little further or a little closer to the wrists. So they're really under the hips here, maybe even a little further forward than the hips. Our toes are going to tuck. Fingers are spread wide. Turn the inside pits of the elbows to point forward. Shoulders pull away from the ears. Core is engaged. Tuck the toes under. The knees hover an inch away from the ground. We'll hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs. Lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Maybe readjusting the hands and feet from there. Taking whatever you wish in your down dog. Bend the knees. Twist out the hips, pivot on the ball of the feet. If those hamstrings are tight, the feet taking a little wider than the mat even is a nice variation, getting the heels closer to the mat. Good. Then from here, come high onto the toes, heels lift high. We're going to keep the core engaged so the belly button's pulling back and up, rib cage tucked in. The spine will feel like it's slightly rounded, like your cat position, pressing the floor away as you shift forward through your high plank. Good. Pause and hold for a moment. This should be somewhat strenuous already. Shoulders shifting forward over the wrist. You're high on the toes of the back feet. So the heels are high. I'm really just on my big toe here. That's it on my toes. Good. Exhale, bring it back to your down dog. 2 more times like that. Inhale, high onto the toes. Shift forward, rounded spine, core stays engaged. Good. Exhale, bring it back, down dog. 1 more time. Inhale, high onto the toes. Shift forward through your high plank. Good. Exhale, bring it back to your down dog. On your inhale, we're going to bend through the knees, look to the front of the mat, walk the feet forward into your fold. Inhale, halfway up. Nice flat, strong back. Exhale to fold. Then inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Reach it up nice and tall. Half salutation. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead, reaching tall. Good. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold, slight variation. Inhale to your halfway lift, pause and hold. Get the back nice and flat. Bring the palms together, just dangling down in front of you like a plumb line here, palms together. Keep the back nice and flat, shoulder blades engaged. As you exhale, I want you to reach the arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, palms still face down. Arms should be parallel to the ground or even a little higher than that. And then inhale, bring them back together, palms together. As you exhale, reach it back open, reverse fly. Good. Inhale, bring the hands back together. 1 more. Exhale to open. Good. Exhale, bring them back down. And forward fold. Walk the hands over to the outside of the right foot. Walk them to the outside of the left. And then back again to the right. Back again to the left. Inhale through center. Halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. We'll step it back into your high plank. Right, I'd like you to slowly lower down from here. So really lift high onto the toes. The shoulders will shift forward. As you exhale for a slow count of 5, we're going to bend through the elbows, lowering down through your chaturanga, but we're going to make it all the way to the ground. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way to the ground here. Let's inhale to a little baby cobra. Keep the hips down. Open the chest, shoulders pull back. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Let's exhale to lower. 1 more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Keep the hands right where they are on each side of the rib cage. Our toes are going to tuck. I want you to lift the knees off the ground first, engage the core, try to pull the belly button away from the ground, and then press up through your high plank, all in one piece. Exhale, bring it back to your down dog. Nice. Good. All right, so on your inhale, let's come back high on your toes, shift forward through that high plank position. All right, so we're in our high plank. I would like you to jump both feet as wide as your mat. Good, and then jump them back together. Let's do that 3 more times. Jump as wide as the mat, jump them back together. 2 more. Wide, close, wide, and close. Let's lower back down through traditional chaturanga, just halfway down. Bend through the elbows. Inhale, upward facing. Good, exhale to your downward facing. As we inhale from here, bend through the knees, look to the front of the mat, step or hop forward into your fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And then inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Reaching tall. We're going to exhale, hinge at the hips, fold it back down. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back into your high plank. Let's add in an extra push-up here. So lower halfway down, chaturanga. Press yourself back up, and then lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale to your downward facing. Nice. So those push-ups are optional. Also option to do them from your knees on the ground, but really wanting to keep the core nice and tight so those hips don't touch the ground. All right, so on your next inhale, come high onto the toes, shift forward through your high plank. So we're in our high plank from here. We're going to come down to our forearms. Forearms one at a time, come all the way down. So we're in our forearm plank. Keep those elbows right under the shoulders. Keep the elbows squeezing together. The core is engaged, the belly button pulling away from the floor. All right, so then I want you to drop the hips over to the right. Maybe those hips tap the ground. Bring them back through center. Drop them over to the left. Bring them back through center. Drop them to the right. Back through center. Drop them to the left. 2 more each side. To the right. Center. Left. Center. 1 more. Right. Center. Left. Center. Good. Coming back. Keeping the core nice and tight. Left hand comes down to the ground. Right hand down to the ground. High plank. Push it back to your down dog. From here, inhale the right leg up. Good. Exhale, step it in between the hands. High crescent, all 10 toes point forward. Back heel lifted. Reach the arms up high. Readjusting the feet as necessary. Keep the back heel nice and high, and keep this back leg as straight as you can. So don't let that knee bend. As you straighten out that leg, you might notice your front knee come back behind the ankle. So with this leg straight, try to inch it further forward so it's directly over the ankle. Again, arms are reaching tall, the lower rib cage pulls in, arms pull back. Biceps frame the ears. Take another deep breath in here. Good. On your inhale, I want you to reach a little higher. On your exhale, now we're going to bend into this back knee, bringing it down just an inch away from the ground, and then straighten it back out and straighten it all the way out. So as we exhale, we'll lower down that knee. Inhale to straighten it all the way. 1 more time. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to straighten. Good. Exhale, open up to a warrior 2. Turning that back heel down on the mat, bending into the front knee. Right, working that back leg in that last posture, getting you to forget about how much you're working that front quad. All right, nice deep bend into that front knee. This back thigh, I want the top of the thigh kind of rotating up and back, pulling up towards the ceiling, externally rotating the back leg as you sink a little deeper into that front knee. The arms are reaching out. So you should have a nice wide stance here. As you reach the arms out, the feet should be just about under the palms or fingertips. That's how wide I want your stance to be. Good. Gaze over the front fingertips. Reach a little further. Good. And then as you inhale, I want these arms to come overhead. We're going to straighten the front leg, pivot on the heel of the foot to turn all 10 toes to the side of your mat with the arms up. Good. All right, so and then we're going to pivot to the back of the mat. On the heel of that back foot, come into your warrior two facing the back, right? And set it up nice and strong like you did in the first one. So that back thigh is rotating up and back, creating an arch in your back foot. The front knee bending deep over the ankle, and the feet as wide as the hands as they're outstretched. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, reach up, straighten that leg, turn all 10 toes to face the side. Try to make this movement as controlled as you can. So as you do, exhale into your warrior two, lift the foot, pivot on the heel, turn it towards the front, and then gently place that foot down, bending into the knee. Good. Inhale, arms up, pivot, toes to the side. Exhale, warrior two towards the back. Good. Inhale, bring it back up through center. Exhale, warrior two towards the front. We're going to go one more time. Inhale through center. Exhale, warrior two to the back. And one more, back to the front. Inhale up. Exhale to the front, warrior two. Bend deep into that front knee so it's over the ankle. Turn the front palm up to face ceiling. Reach a little further. Exhale, reverse warrior. Reach it up and back. Good. And then inhale, cartwheel these hands all the way forward and down to the mat. We'll step it back into your high plank. I'd like an extra push up here. So lowering down to the knees if you have to. We'll bend through the elbows. Press it back up. Bend through the elbows. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to your down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it in between the hands. High crescent, all 10 toes forward. Back heel lifted as the arms come up and overhead. Right, that right hip pivots forward, left hip pivots back. And again, this back leg stays as straight as possible. So pick that back knee up towards the ceiling as high as you can. And then make sure that front knee is staying over the foot as well. So sinking a little deeper into it. You can create more space in between both feet if you have to, shimmying that front foot forward. The arms reach up, quads engage, biceps frame the ears. Nice. Good. As you exhale, slowly lower that back knee down. And then inhale, straighten the leg out as tight as you can. Feel the glute engage, feel the quad engage. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to reach. Good. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Turn that back heel down. So I'm going to face you guys on this one. So sinking deep into that warrior two, we kind of set it up on the other side already, so you know how it feels. Right, opening the hips, sinking deep into it. We're going to do the same back and forth here. So as you inhale, straighten the leg, turn all 10 toes to the side, arms come up. Try to make these movements as smooth, as controlled, and slow as possible. So exhale, facing the back of the mat, warrior two. Good. Inhale, straighten the leg, pivot on the heel, all 10 toes face the side. Exhale, pivot on the front heel, warrior two towards the front. Good. Again, inhale, reach up, straightening the leg, pivot the toes. Exhale, warrior two towards the back. Inhale, reach up. Good. Exhale towards the front. One more time. Inhale, reach up, straighten the legs. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Last one. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, warrior two towards the front. Settle in, sink deep into that front knee. Right, don't let the lower body change as you exhale, reverse warrior. Stretch through the side body here. So don't turn it into a back bend, but keep the shoulders stacked. Reach up and back, keep the bend in the knee. Either looking down, tucking the chin to that right shoulder, or keep the chin tucked into the left armpit. And then inhale, cartwheel the hands all the way forward and down to the mat. Step it back, high plank. Right, add in this push-up here. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Press back up, high plank. Lower back down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Come on to the tops of the feet, the thighs lift. Exhale, take it to your downward facing. Good. We're going to do a couple hops from here. So from your down dog, have your feet as wide as the hips. And we're going to bend through the knees so that the hips sit back towards the heels. So you're really pressing the mat away from you in the hands so that your hips can sit towards the heels. And we're going to take little hops forward. So actually, I'll give you the first progression first. So maybe from here, just try to shoot forward into your high plank and then bring it back to that hovering child's pose. So inhale, shoot forward, high plank. Exhale, hovering child's. One more. Inhale, shoot forward, high plank. Exhale, hovering child's. So you can continue in that motion, or you can take little hops off of the mat. So with the knees lifted, we can hop off of both feet, just pressing into the hands. So these can be really small hops, or maybe you start bringing the hips closer over the hands towards your handstand. But wherever you are, for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take it into your child's pose. Knees all the way down. Forehead comes down to the mat. The arms are extended overhead. Just a couple breaths after getting the heart rate up. Good. Inhale, shift forward, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So on your inhale, bend through the knees, look to the front of the mat, step or hop forward into your fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Nice flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come up to that halfway lift again. Nice flat back. Let the hands come down plumb line, reaching to the ground, palms together. As you exhale, reverse fly. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then inhale, hands together. 2 more. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, close. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. Reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, hands down by your side. Whew, I got my heart rate up. I am breathing heavy. Okay, bring your feet about hips width apart, toes point straight forward. We're going to go through some squats. So a little different than our traditional chair. We normally work with the toes close together, but we're going to take it a little wider, as wide as our hips. Keep the toes pointed straight forward though, so don't turn them in at all. Try to not turn them out. Point them straight forward. Hips width. If you were to make a line from the crease of your armpit down your side, you should hit that outer edge of your foot. Good. And on your inhale, I'd like you to slowly lower into a squat. So the knees will bend and the hips are going to press back behind you. So bend through the knees, press the hips back behind you while trying to keep the chest as upright as you can. Reach the arms out in front of you to give a little counterbalance. Try to get these hips in line with the knee. So as you sit down, sink nice and low. Good. Arms reach out. The hips are in line with the knee. Chest stays lifted. Good. And then as we exhale, press back up through center. Let's do 3 more like that. Inhale to lower down, arms come out, hips come in line with the knee, and then exhale, squeeze the glutes, come up into your squat. Inhale to lower down, exhale, up. 1 more. Inhale, lower down. Good. Exhale, and bring it back up. All right, so on your inhale, bring those arms up and overhead. We'll go through another flow. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back to your high plank. Go from here, lower back down to the forearms. So coming into our forearm plank. Good. Holding here. Keep the shoulders over the elbows. And then I'd like that right foot to lift. Good. Bring it back down. Lift the left foot. Bring it back down. Right foot lifts. Down. Left foot lifts. Down. 1 more each side. Right foot lifts. Left foot lifts. Bringing it down. Good. Bring your right hand to the floor. Left hand to the floor. Press up high plank. We're going through a push-up here, shifting forward. Chaturanga, bend through the elbows. Press it back up. Exhale to bring it down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale to that downward facing. Very good. On your inhale, bring the right leg up. As we exhale, we're bringing knee to nose right through the center. Try to get the knee to touch the nose as your shoulders shift forward over the wrists. Good. And then inhale, extend it back. Three-legged down dog. Two more. Exhale, shift forward. Knee to elbow or knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. One more. Knee to nose. Inhale, extend it back. As you exhale, step it in between the hands. Come up through your high crescent. Good. Arms come all the way up. Good. From here, bringing that back leg all the way forward into a single-legged Tadasana. So if you can, keep those arms overhead. Good. And as you exhale, we're going to bring that left knee all the way forward, single-legged Tadasana. Good. Keep the core engaged. Find that balance. And then inhale, step it back, high crescent, as controlled as you can. Let's go two more. Exhale to bring it up and through. Good. Inhale, bringing it back. One more. Exhale, bring it up and through. Inhale to bring it back. Nice. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. All right, keeping that nice shape in the lower body here. We're actually going to straighten that front leg. So coming into our triangle, let's inch that left foot a little further forward. All right, we're going to reach the arms out parallel to the ground. Allow that right hand to reach as far forward as you can, but try to stretch that side of the body. So your right side, that right arm is reaching. I know it looks reversed. I'm in the selfie camera, so it reverses everything. But keep that bottom side of your body long. Bring that right hand to the inside of shin, left arm up to the ceiling. Good. Feeling these left obliques engage. Try to not put weight down on that right hand, but keep it just kind of floating there. So you're using your left obliques to hold yourself up. Good. That top arm reaching forward. And as you inhale, I want you to come all the way up and rotate that top hand so that the palm faces your other hand, but really rotating through the shoulder, trying to pull the tricep over to the center line of your body. Good. And then inhale, we're going to reach and bring it back down, triangle. Allow this arm to slightly open up. And we'll do it again. Reach all the way up, pull up through the left arm, palm faces the side. Good. And then exhale, lower it back down. One more. Inhale, reach up, palm faces the side. Get a whole lock through that left side of the body. Good. Exhale, bring this arm down. Turn all 10 toes to face the side here. I'll bring the arms out to the side. Inhale, the palms up and rotate, open. Exhale, we'll take our fold. Nice. Then inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we'll fold. Maybe walk the hands to one foot and then the other. All right, letting the upper body sway, that lower back relax a little. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center, halfway lift. Walk the hands back over towards the front of the mat. Good. All right, step that right foot back to meet the left. We're in our side plank here. Good. With that right arm reaching high, I'd like you to try to take that right arm and reach it under the left. So your body's going to rotate a little here. And then inhale to reach it back up. Keep this nice arch in the body. As you exhale, reach that right arm under the left armpit. And then inhale to lift. Good. One more time. Exhale, reach it under. Good. Inhale to lift. And then exhale, hands to the mat, high plank. Adding in that extra push-up if it's there for you. Inhale, upward facing. Good. Exhale to your downward facing. Good. Just the other side to get through. Then we'll start to bring it down. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, rounding the spine. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. One more. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step it in between the hands, high crescent. Setting up nice, strong high crescent as we did on the other sides. Bending deep into that front knee, hips stay squared off. Good. On your exhale, we'll bring that back knee forward, single-legged Tadasana. Finding your balance, keeping the core engaged, that bottom leg is strong. Exhale, step it back to your high crescent, as controlled as possible. Inhale, bringing it through center. Good. Exhale, bring it back. One more. Inhale through center. Exhale, bringing it back. Warrior two, turn your back heel down, reaching forward. I'm going to turn to face you again. Maybe shimmying that back foot a little further, closer here, shortening the stance just a little bit. Good. That left arm reaches all the way out. Again, trying to keep length in that side of the body that you're reaching with. Bring that left arm to the inside of the shin, the right arm up. So you're not placing any weight on that bottom hand. The right arm's reaching up. Try to pull your weight up with that right arm. Again, these side obliques engaged. Good. And then as we inhale, we're going to reach up with that top hand, pulling your upper body all the way up, and turn the palm to face the other hand. Good. So you're rotating through that shoulder. Try to keep the arm as close to the side of the head as you can. And then inhale to reach, bring it back down through your triangle. Two more. On your inhale, reach it up. Good. Exhale, bring it down. One more. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bring it down. Last one. Inhale to reach. And then bring those arms parallel to the ground. Pivot on the heel of that foot. Turning to the side of your mat. Arms stay parallel to the ground. Inhale, turn the palm up to face the ceiling. Exhale, fold it down. Good. Either staying here, maybe these hands walk in between the heels this time. All right, maybe you take those feet even wider on the mat. They can come as wide as you'd like, trying to get your head closer down to the floor. Good. On your inhale, walk the hands under the shoulders. If your feet are really far apart, like mine are, I'll hop them in a little. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we're walking the hands towards the front of the mat. All right, and coming into our side plank again. So with the right hand down, the left arm up this time. Yes, I'm going to turn to face you since you had my back on the other view. Keeping the hips lifted high. Option to lower that bottom knee down. That's always there for you. We're going to reach that top hand all the way under the armpit, reaching behind you. And then inhale to lift back up through your side plank. Keep this arch in the body. Two more. Exhale. Reach the left arm behind you as far as you can under the right arm. Inhale to lift. One more time. Exhale, roll under. And then inhale to lift. Exhale, that left hand will come down to the mat, high plank. Lower down halfway, press up, high plank. Lower down halfway, inhale, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing. Very good. On your inhale, you can take a bend in the knees, look to the front of the mat, step or hop forward. Nice. From here, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. We'll come into a seat, so bend through the knees. All right, find your seat with the legs out in front. Nice. So preparing for our boat pose, getting that core going here. So try to point the toes up towards the ceiling. Heels can stay down on the mat. I'll work you through the progressions. Heels stay down on the mat. Try to lean back so the upper body is straight here. Also, option for hands to be on the floor or hands to the back of the legs during any of these. So if you're here, this might be enough for you. Maybe one heel comes off the mat and you can alternate between them. Maybe you get them both off the mat. Maybe the hands stay down or hands stay behind the legs. Maybe your arms are out here. All right, from here, maybe those legs start to straighten. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest. We're going to roll onto the back just for a moment. We're coming back into that boat pose. So maybe a couple of rocks lengthways, massaging the back. Good. On your next inhale, pause back up in your boat pose. Good. Wherever you are, whichever version, maybe even take it down 1 notch because we're going to add to this. So my legs were straight. I'm going to keep them bent here. I'm going to take my hands, fingers laced here, and I want you to tap down, fingers to the floor of the left side, bring it back through center, tap down to the right, back through center, to the left, center, and right. Keep going here at your own pace. Let's see here. We'll go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back through center. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll onto your back. Give yourself a little rock from side to side this time. Massaging that lower back down into the floor. Good. Hugging the knees into the chest. Feeling the tailbone lift away from the floor. Getting a little bit more length in the lower back. And sometimes that can cause a little pain or discomfort in the mid to lower back area, like L4, L5 area. That's because that is where the psoas muscle is connected to, and that psoas kind of helping aid keeping the legs up in that position. Can sometimes pull on that lower back, but that muscle needs to get stronger, and you also need to learn how to engage the rest of your core muscles to help support that a little better. So just starting with those lower progressions in your boat pose would be a great benefit to you if there is some pain in that lower back, but it's nothing serious if that is the case. Let's take our twist. So that right leg comes into the chest, right leg over to the left, the shoulder stays down. Getting some release through that lower back area if that did cause any tightness. Good. Inhale, bring these legs back through center. Roll on to the other side. Same thing with your supine twist. Shoulders stay flat on the mat. Maybe that hand to the top of the thigh, pulling it closer to the ground. Good. Inhale, bring it back through center. Hug these knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Cool. Bring the left foot down to the mat. Cross your right ankle over that left thigh. And we're going to give ourselves figure 4 stretch. So your one hand going in between the legs, so that triangle created, the opposite hand wrapping around the outside, pulling the left leg in. So the leg that's straight here, you're hugging into the chest, you're stretching through the opposite leg. All right, thinking about your intention as we lay here. The intention you set at the beginning of class. All right, we certainly put ourselves in some uncomfortable and challenging situations. Knowing and understanding that you're able to push through them, getting to the other side. Release this leg, switch legs, figure 4 stretch on the other side. Hugging that opposite knee into the chest. And as you're here, try to actively pull the knee that's bent and out to the side, try to pull it out to the side even more actively here as you hug the opposite knee in. The more in line the kind of two knees can be, the more stretch you'll get. Good. Exhale to release there. Bring both feet down to the mat. Maybe let those knees fall from one side to the other. Awesome. And then we're bringing it all the way down so that those legs extend long, the arms fall by the side. All right, walk those shoulders under the chest a little further. The palms can turn up. The toes can point out. Any small movements that'll get you just a little more comfortable here. Right, really appreciating this time. I know if you're watching from home, it can be easy to get up here. And I'm going to keep saying it, stick with me. Allow the body to kind of decompress and relax here. After all that physical movement, right, the mind, the whole mind-body system has released a bunch of energy, and you'll be able to lie here with the mind a little stiller, a little more comfortable, a little more in the present moment. Good. On your inhale, move through the hands and feet, arms and legs. We'll take that full body stretch. Good. Draw the knees into the chest, roll over to the favorite side. Pausing here for a moment. Pressing the hand down into the mat. Lift up. Coming into a seated position. Cool. Finding your way back. All right, preparing yourself to take on the rest of your day. Thank you for joining me here for today's class. The light in me honors and respects the light in you. Namaste.
Thank you for watching Kula Wellness on YouTube. Please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe button below.